Apple refreshed its MacBook Pro lineup last week with the latest Intel processors, but real-world user tests have suggested that the device quickly heats up, forcing the laptop to throttle its processor to speeds lower than the previous generation device. YouTube reviewer Dave Lee put his new 15-inch MacBook Pro equipped with Intel's latest i9 processor through a series of rendering tests. The device, which retails for a minimum of £2,699 in the UK, depending on specification, started limiting its own performance after only a few seconds of rendering a high-resolution video in order to maintain an acceptable internal temperature. The i9 is a very powerful CPU. When it comes to multi-core applications, this thing is a beast. The problem, though, is that this chassis in the MacBook Pro cannot cool the i9 properly. Lee said, "When you look at renderers, I'm using Adobe Premiere. After a few seconds we are starting to see some very serious throttling. On a properly cooled device, that spiky line for the clock frequency would be much flatter and would be a higher clock speed. This i9 in this MacBook can't even maintain the base clock speed, which is absurd," he added. When Lee repeated the same test but put the MacBook Pro in the freezer, the i9 was able to perform the test much faster than older models, confirming that heat throttling is the issue when it comes to performance. In another side-by-side comparison, see below, for the 2018 and 2017 MacBook Pro models from Zollotech, the last year's device was actually able to compress the same video file 2 minutes faster than this year's device. This CPU is an unlocked, overclockable chip, but all of that CPU potential is wasted inside this chassis, Lee said. Power throttling and thermal throttling isn't anything new. We've seen it in MacBooks for years and we've seen it in lots of devices, including Windows devices. But this degree of thermal throttling is not acceptable. This isn't something that Apple should put out on the market and just blindly sell to people, because a lot of people that purchase this device will never know that their laptop is throttling to this degree. The video sparked an outcry amongst disappointed Mac fans on Reddit, although user Maniac Depressive said, "I would want to see this repeated consistently across multiple i9 MVPs before I'd think there's a larger issue." Elsewhere, the 2018 MacBook Pros include a subtly redesigned butterfly keyboard that now includes a thin silicone membrane under each key. While Apple said this change has been implemented to make the keyboard quieter, users have speculated that it could also be a way to remedy recurring issues with the keyboards that have seen them break twice as frequently as those found on older models. The butterfly keyboards have been designed to be as thin as possible in order to allow for an overall reduction in the size of the laptops. However, the shallow design appears to be prone to malfunction, as even small amounts of dust or crumbs that find their way under keys can stop them from working properly.